More resonance with Akindata. Welcome home, soul family. This is Sally Akindata with Roaring Resonance, and I am so happy to be back online and to be able to connect with you all. How are you all landing with this space, my love? Yes, I'm clearing right now. What I would love to hear about what transformations, shifts, alchemization that occurred for you in these past few summer months. Now we are in the fall. What have you harvested? What pearl of wisdom out of all the lots have you harvested? I'm definitely having a lot of throat activation here, throat clearing. And what limiting beliefs and stories that you've told yourself that you are now releasing. What is clearing out of your field so that you can fully express the wholeness, the fullness of you. I'm so curious and I'm so excited to dive right on in. And on this episode, on another episode of just unfolding gently to the worlds that is you. And if you are new to this episode, I'll do a quick intro. As Roaring Resonance has been very intentionally co-created space with the highest of good and timeline for all of us. Is a powerful container, and I'm the steward, Akindara. And within this container, we are welcoming home the highest expression of our soul, where we align our actions to our hearts and fall so deeply in love with the light within. Your voice matters. You are seen. You are heard. And if you're coming across this episode and this channel for the first time, it is no coincidence. You are here in perfect timing. And with Roaring Resonance, I aim to connect with ready soul who's, how do I put this? Wanting to dive deep into the core essence of themselves, willing to dive into the shadows and rise like the phoenix. We celebrate all aspect, the light, the dark, the deep, the light, the unknown, all aspect, because we realize that all of it is an expression of the one. And that's what we're here for. To come into full unity. And as we do that, right, as we come home to the core essence of who we are, our voice emboldens, our expressions enlivens, and we are able to allow, no longer afraid to allow what medicine that we are here to bring to birth into new earth, as you are the conduit of new earth, right? Bringing all of that to light. To find the courage to express yourself, to share your gifts, and reap the abundance of all of that. So the intentions that I've set for this space is to flow into that deep soul awakening exchange where you're probably well on your way, on your journey, or just starting out, and it doesn't matter, right? You're here for a reason. And we'll dive deep and if authenticity, raw, authentic dedication to our own enlightenment and our own mastery, this channel is absolutely for you. And I'm here as an oracle, a mirror, a bridge, and a gateway into the deeper depths of you, where I expand upon your field of vision, feel to witness the medicine that is you, and you're the magic. We are here too as mirrors of one another, as our thoughts create our reality, and you being the main player of your reality, and each of us being a main player of our own reality. Together, we create this giant hall of mirrors where we can express to one another, just reflect into one another the highest expression of divinity, the highest expression of the one, of the I am presence, all to this point, and I can see it in my mind's eye right now. We are all points upon the grid, and we are the grid as well as the grid worker. We are the light and the light worker. We are the light, I don't even want to say worker anymore, light bringer. So we are here, each of us on a point on the grid. And as we come online, we are helping in this beautiful alchemization, this dance, and helping Gaia also coming online, and helping all the people connected to us coming online. Can you feel the magic in that? The power in that? And if everything I've shared so far resonates with you, like, subscribe, comment, and it is through the expression where we are and able to witness one another within community. These readings are timeless, so pick and choose the episodes like shuffling a deck of cards to pick what aligns to you for the day. And I invite you to play. As serious as everything sounds, so what I want to do, what part of my own medicine, my own path, is to invite in more joy and play and pleasure through this process of awakening, like unfolding gently, softly, gracefully, kindly, full acceptance of every single little aspects of ourselves. That's what I'm here for. And if something doesn't resonate, totally fine. Totally fine. Let it flow through you. Give it to Gaia. She will alchemize it and transform it into nutrient for your own growth. I am so excited. And if you're just returning, and if you've been just returning to this channel, you've been listening to all this video, I just want to say a huge shout out and thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you so much. Thank you. All right, everyone. All right, as we tune in right now, let's do this. I invite you to, if you're able to, meaning you're not driving or handling any heavy equipment, like those warning signs, right? And I invite you to take a deep breath, like a deep breath that goes straight to your belly, to your heart, to your throat, all the way through. And hold it. Allow yourself to exhale deeply, let it go. Shake out your shoulders, your arms, your leg. Just allow that energy to move through. And we are going to bring in... I invited in just some tone in here, light language we call it. Tone in, tuning into the frequency, and I feel this deep Shakti energy, primordial energy alongside Shaktis. I'm thinking of the word that comes through is primordial. So some energy that is just so deeply ingrained into the very essence of every single cell of our body. Take a deep breath. Okay. That feels good. Alright, so what is arriving for us here, my love? I'm getting full body chills right now. In this lovely fall October, October morning to celebrate this new moon solar eclipse in Libra, the final movement through the Aries, Libra, North and South node, and the last musical movement with Pluto in Capricorn. What a trifecta, and I'm sure there are so many other astrological phenomena that's happening right now. And even today, hearing about the solar flares and how it's the highest record high of an X9 solar flare. So, I don't know what to say. It's like the moment is now. So deep, profound shift, and from what it looks like, this shift is gonna continue its way through the winter months, right? And if we take a step back, and as if we're just looking at how, if you're sitting by a window and you can and fall is where you're at right now. You can observe how the leaves are slowly turning, right? You see it changing from green to yellow to white. Oh, no, white. What am I talking about? To orange and red. The leaves are changing. And then there's a moment, if you can just pause and slow it down. Slow it down, down. They fall. And the leaves starts to cover the ground. They start to transform into like this layer of nutrients and covering for the ground beneath. And then we head into the winter months, right, where trees are bare. It is quiet, so quiet. And I remember this a year ago too, this moment, where winter time, right, it's very quiet. Still, you can not even a voice, only your own breath. Leaves crunching, snow falling, and then before you see a layer of snow, if you are able to witness that, and just how they're so silent. But guess what? Underneath all that layer of, we'll call it decay, that quietness, right? The silence, the seeds in the ground, it's been planted. Like you, like every intention. There's a season, right, where seeds are planted. And they're growing, they're receiving nutrients, even though it's the winter and there's barely anything in sight. Right? They're receiving the nutrients in one way or another. And as we approach, as we lead ourselves up to the springtime, right? Rain, sun, all of this adding more nutrients to the seed, and it's growing. The roots are deepening now. Now, with all the sun and the water, it's rising in height. And as it gets to a moment, it bursts with the spring equinox. So, I'm going a little bit ahead of myself here, but what I feel with all of this burst of energy that's happening, this very pivotal moment, and I believe it's a very pivotal moment for many, many people on this channel, is that it's going to last, this almost like the post effect, the aftermath of all of this is going to last itself through the winter time. All right. And there's an invitation, because we're navigating through shifts that are it's changing the foundations of what we once knew. So to talk about it, like, this is solar eclipse in Libra, the balancing of the scale. This Pluto in Capricorn, this Aries, Libra, North and South node, Aries North node, is about the self, the leading of the self, the our own life purpose, choosing ourselves, versus the Aries North node, and the Libra South node is about relationship, the balancing of the people, the harmony within our relationship. So this axis and all the changes and everything happening, and what I feel so deeply, and if you've been listening to my other episodes, is all about relationships. relationships with ourselves, with other people, coworker, family members, mom, dad, lovers. What we are shedding away, like leaves turning and falling, shedding away the push and pull of what is aligned to me, what feels good to me, what is serving me, and what is it that I want in my relationships with other? What is supporting the relationship? How can I bring in more harmony into those relationships? So there's a lot of shuffling between the relationship with ourselves. That mean, maybe you've grown up with a certain template, the conditionings, the programs that society have put on you, family members, parent, generational. And now you're realizing, is this truly the template? Looking at this, is this truly a template that I want to emulate? Or is there something that I can take from it, but then do something differently with it, my own template? And I have a funny saying that's coming through my mind is, people say when you get married, you often get married to like your mom or your dad. It's funny and people laugh about it, but why does it have to be that way? Right? Or why does it need to be that way? Can it be a little differently? Maybe there's some humor around that, but what's happening, what's showing up, right, is all of these unconscious patterns of cycles coming over and over again. And we attract, right, the energy signatures that we're sending off like little feelers into the world, right? There's energy sending off based on like there's a certain flavor that's being sent off. And we are attracting that. We are attracting that flavor into our life. Hence the same reflection of like, why is this like such a reiteration of all of the conditioning, the programming, and the reasons why these cycles, right, these loop, it's like a time loop, right? These loops that keep happening and happen is that they are lessons, right? They're opportunities. You can choose them to see like, oh, cycles, or you can look at it as opportunities to unravel, right? To choose differently. And when you begin to choose differently, what I see is like the branch starts moving away. You're breaking that cycle. That is what it means to break cycle, to be a generational cycle breaker, a trauma break. There's an exact terminology, but the idea is breaking chains, right? Chains and cycles. So there are certain templates that once helped and supported us in maybe our own survival, maybe a certain way of being that once supported a certain type of relationship, once helped us succeed to a certain, excuse me, supported us to a certain extent. And what's so interesting around this too is that when it comes to relationship, so often do we come into relationships wanting to perhaps save somebody, to be a victim, to be a perpetrator. Like there's a cycle in shamanism. And most of the time it's like we want that shows up in relationship is wanting to change other people and getting frustrated, thinking that if we love this person enough that they'll one day see it and witness it, and they themselves will change. However, the reality is, the truth is that people change. Each person has their own path in this life. Each person came to Earth with a purpose, with a mission, and each person has their own path. No one path greater than or less than another person. And people will only change when they want to change. When choosing to self-reflect, that's a choice. Choosing to change, choosing to see things, all of these are choices. And that's where free will comes in, right? You have the right to choose, as well as you have the right to live this life the way that how you want to choose. How you want to choose to live this life. So a lot of shuffling there, templates, And then this is showing up in relationships, right? We recognize that certain relationships with family members just aren't serving us anymore. It could be a relationship with your sister, with your brother, with your husband, your wife, or your partner. It's just any relationships that have once held you. You're realizing, I've almost like enough is enough. I know more. And it's interesting because as we, if you're on this channel, I mean, you've been on this path, or you're choosing to heal, choosing to remember who you really are. And as we keep turning towards ourselves, right? As we keep turning towards through the portal of our hearts, we begin to see, especially I call myself recovering people pleaser and codependent, is that we begin to understand what our own gifts, our own values, our energy, just how precious all of that is. And we create our reality. Our thoughts create our reality. Everything that's internal, this is what it means: as above, so below, as within, so without. Everything that is being worked on internally, it'll be reflected out externally. And here's another example before I jump into the themes for this month, is that especially if you're desiring a divine partner, a partner, right? If that's part of your mission, your purpose in this lifetime, right, is to meet your divine partner. We go back to the principle that whatever energy you put out is the energy that you will attract. So here, throw in a little experiment here for you, or an idea for you. Planted an idea here. The more you heal, you put that love, right? That love that you would have sought externally, given it to other people, and then getting frustrated in return. Rather, if you pour all of that love, your capacity to love, in yourself, meaning falling in love with every single aspect of who you are, dating yourself, buying yourself roses, flowers, food, everything, just go dating yourself. You are essentially, right, you are creating almost like a litmus test or standards. You are setting the bar on who you want to attract into your life. Meaning, the more love you give to yourself, right? You are sending out a frequency to the world that I want a love that's not less than what I give to myself. Meaning, I want a relationship where they buy flowers with unexpectedly, right? And do you do that for yourself? Like, is it truly going to bring you a lot of joy? And you can't know that if you don't do that for yourself. So again, the more you turn towards yourself, the more you love yourself and just falling in love with yourself, you are sending off that signal. And this is the basic, like the premise of part of it, a manifestation, of visualizing the future that you want to have. And it inspires aligned actions. So that could be a start. So let's see. I feel, okay, so what I'm feeling, there are a few themes and a few more things that are releasing any limiting beliefs within ourselves, of our own conditioning. With Venus in, so there's Venus in Scorpio too. And with Pluto, the Lord, Scorpio is ruling sign, I would say, of I feel like I just got a notification. It's like, ping, right here. Home of Pluto, Lord of the Underworld. So I feel, all right, this beautiful dance between the feminine and masculine energy, and I'm using feminine and masculine based on what we know of them. Like, those are the labels that have been filtered. There are these energies where it's like I feel a gentleness of you are fucking held with a loving, with like there's this love, softness, and beauty combined with like I hold you. I am holding you. Like show me every single thing of you, like every aspect of you, and I will hold you and I will love every single piece of it. So it's like this invitation to like an excavation to the depths of our subconscious, and like this gentleness, this discipline that is aligned to our heart and revealing like these beautiful gemstones within the shadows. That's pretty cool. Oh, thank you, universe. And let's see. So, some themes that are kind of coming up right now is time. Ooh, time. Especially as we begin to wind down. There's almost like this urge, like, I need to do something. I need to do something. I need to, like, things are being delayed. Oh, I'm getting frustrated when things are delayed. You know, like that rush, like, like just continuous rush. And there's an invitation here, and you hear me say so much. There's always an opportunity. There's always an invitation, and here's a beautiful. The leaves take their time to turn from green to all the different shades. And if you notice, there's a moment, right? And even with your intentions, there's a moment when there's a ripening period an incubation period to every single intention that you set. And even to yourself, when there's an expansion, there's a release, there's also an expansion, there's an integration and an embodiment piece of it. And then that most perfect moment when it's fully ripe and right, the leaves will fall, and all the leaves will fall in just this one symphonic dance. And you, my love, are like the leaves. And you're going through a deep period of maturation. There's a lot of alchemization happening. And there's some tough darkness that you're like really chugging through right now. And that takes time. And what I want to so emphasize here is you're not late. You're not early. You didn't miss anything. You're not going to miss anything because everything that is meant for you is coming to you and it's arriving in perfect time. And you are perfectly on time. So if you notice the need to rush into an action, or if there's a thought that comes across something similar to, if I don't do it, like if I don't jump in, if I don't do it, I'm not going to see progress. But what you're missing, right? You're missing is that every single step that you take, one step at a time, little by little, it's all making a difference. So this is an invitation, especially for those people over there in that back corner who loves to take on so much until your plate is completely, like you're just stretched so thin and you're just exhausted. This is an invitation to really observe, like, what are you really, like, why are you taking all of these things? Is there a worry or a concern that if I don't take all of these things, I'm going to miss an opportunity? Is really take a moment to really witness what resistance might be coming up around maybe a lack or with time. Because you are not late. You are on time. And I can guarantee you, like, the moment what I've noticed through this 1 year, like this whole year of this journey within myself of choosing me, is that a decision can be made internally, and it'll take time until it fully matures, and it's like every single like cogwheel and like perfect orchestration. It's like it's gonna move in the most divine order, and that voice that comes and tells you like it's time to speak that choice into existence, it'll happen. Another theme that's coming up is how are we harvesting? And harvesting is like we're taking all the plants have grown, wheats are all fully grown. Now it's time to harvest all the goods. And you take away any bad apples, harvest the good ones. So it's like harvesting. This one is about like harvesting the good seeds. Like even like celebrating the harvest. And we have the harvest full moon coming up too, so pretty timely there. So I wouldn't be surprised that there's something that is arriving from now to the full moon that is like calling you to celebrate. And with this eclipse and the new moon too, like we are witnessing already a lot of shifts within relationships versus ourself, life purpose versus what's comfortable. And as you're arriving here, you've made a choice and have taken actions in alignment to your choice. So moving through, alchemizing, actively making magic with all the programmings, conditionings, and perhaps even taking steps to leave relationships, that's not easy. It's not comfortable. It's not just rainbow and unicorn that's always advertised in various spiritual communities. So honor that. Honor how much damn courage it took to take those steps. And also, if you're not ready to take those steps, honor that too. Honor the moments where you are in this period of contraction and you're the dragon sitting on a dragon egg who's birthing the dragon that's you. So there's and I see this scene right now, like when we harvesting, I'm like, there's just so much love and gratitude and abundance for how much work it took to get to where you're at right now. Like how amazing that is. That I'm celebrating you right now, love. Like that's amazing. And just also celebrating all the lessons you've learned. The part of there's cycles, right? Self-reflection can turn itself into a cycle too. So it's like taking what we've learned from the past and then being able to move forward and apply those wisdom in our next harvest. And I know, like, especially around these seasons, so there's probably a lot of shifts in relationships. And it means having to have the hard conversation, expressing a need. And that could bring up a lot. Like shaking a bottle with like dirt, rocks, and everything. It's going to get pretty hazy, right? And there's a lot that wants to be released. And that could be, especially as we're working through the expansion of these awareness. And there may be some bitterness, some frustration, anger, disappointment, grief, for God's sake. And that's all welcome here. That is all welcome here. You take the time to allow and honor these emotions that are moving through your body. And when it feels stuck, when you find yourself in a loop of like being, let's say, grieving for a couple days, or not grieving for a couple, grieving for a couple days. Trust that you'll get out of that cycle too. Trust that there will be better days ahead. Trust that it'll lessen over time. Trust. And also know, like, that moment when you can be, let's say, isolate yourself in an apartment and everybody's ushering you to go out, change of scenery, this and that. But you're like, no, not yet, I'm not ready. Also trust that you will know when you are ready to step out into the world again. And what I've realized and what I've learned, right, is there is so much goodness too that happen in the relationships, right? There's a lot of beauty and presence and gifts and pearls of wisdom in these relationships. So it's like, can we honor? It's a deep invitation to honor that the templates that we had lived by, like we lived by, what our mother and father told us that we should do and be in. As you shed these layers of what these templates you were, to embody your own true template. It's scary. It's exciting. And it's okay to feel all of the emotions. Allow yourself to witness all of this and move through them. Can we look at these aspects of ourselves with just complete love and recognizing that all of this was part of our, in some way, some grand scheme, right? That's part of our path. It was what we chose to come here to learn. Like a whole video game. There are levels in our ascensions. And it's celebrating like we just mastered another level. And also recognize like it took time. And like all of that increased our ability to navigate each and every single ascension. Like we are creating a whole new foundation, a whole new starting point. So witness, honoring that the templates you once followed helped you to survive this world. And you're no longer choosing to survive. And that you're choosing to live, to create a new template by being you. Your magnificent divine blueprint embodied through you. You are the medicine. You are the gift. You are the light. That's just how amazing of a person you are. How amazing of a soul you are. I feel, which in a way, this energy segues into the slowing down. Shedding layers of the past, being intentional and conscious every moment requires slowing down the egoic, reactive animal mind to a point of stillness, of surrender and trust in the unknown, the trust in you. Shedding layers like the leaves fallen or the snakes shedding, or even when an egg is ready to burst. Every moment requires slowing down and being within the presence to embrace the now. And for far too long, we've lived in the future for the fear of the unknown, planning every second of our life to maintain the illusion of control, or living within the past and being stuck in the continuous loop, like walking in circles in the mud, entangled by the stories of the past. And it is now where we can be present in the I am and completely surrender to the moment of what is and allow what to come because you've already taken the first step in choosing you. And that was all that was needed. So slowing down. How can we, and I remember seeing this, as I'm getting more in tune with my body and I'm dancing a little bit more, is slowing down the movement to allow how it can land within our body to feel good. Slowing down the way that we speak so we can be more effective. Slowing down so we can hold the attention by the thread and ending it with a sweet smile. Every moment can be a very beautiful co-creation, stacking one block at a time. It's slowing down and learning to trust ourselves, learning to alchemize learning to alchemize the honor and harvesting this deep trust in ourselves to be a compass and guiding us to places, to things, to take action. And this brings in the one of the last theme that's coming up for this month is this continual deepening and shedding and unifying of what we know as the masculine and feminine. And I emphasize on what we know because energy is energy, and it's through the filter of our own perception, conditionings, and programmings that they begin to take form into what is known. And part of the expansion requires letting go of what is known, like letting go of training wheels. And one of a mentor, I would call a really great mentor, AOSC, is saying to is like they're reference point. They serve as a certain reference point and to reveal what is possible. And then as we embody and make the choices to align, they are meant to be released, to let go, like training wheels. Letting go of what we have known, how things were done, and where we can, and recognize where we can transform and pioneer a new way through our choices. And it's interesting because I am also another mentor, Kirsten with It's Given Mystical is doing like this tarot mystery school where we can dive deeper. And tarot is a beautiful practice that I've incorporated into diving into the depths of who I am to inspire more reflections. And as we're going through the major arcana right now, we are looking through each card, and I felt so much resistance coming from the Emperor card and the Hierophant. And especially more so the Emperor because of how dominating and how it holds a lot of masculine energy. And what's so interesting is that, and then as I was tuning into a live with AOSC, it was witnessing how this energy was ping-ponging back and forth between the feminine and the masculine, the feminine and the masculine, because it's like this, there's resistance with the Emperor card, and the Emperor card comes up within a very strong masculine energy, but I felt the energy ping-ponging back and forth between masculine and feminine. And in what was happening was like this deep invitation to deepen into an aspect of the feminine, because within the masculine and the feminine, there is the masculine within the feminine within the masculine. So there was this energy where I was like the imbalance, right, that was happening. And it comes from a place of like the wounded, I would say the wounded masculine aspect within myself, where I couldn't trust myself to follow my own intuition. I couldn't trust myself to take the actions to honor my intuition. There was still doubt in my own intuition. So that led to like a whole year of just coming home to the feminine. And now this is like a deepening into that aspect. Then as I was diving into that, the part of the templates that I've grown up with is witnessing there's like a lot of emasculation. There's a lot of hyper independence, hyper vigilance. Is a lot of you need to live life by X, Y, and Z. And you should be X, Y, and Z. And it was like, where was my voice in all of that? So it was like, I couldn't even trust my own voice. So I was like, explore and play with these stickiness and these resistance, is witnessing how a lot of the women in my family and what I've witnessed in dynamics is constantly taking the lead and being very hyper independent, not being able to trust anyone. And learned behavior, recognizing that template, I thought like, another mentor, my Olivia with so many beautiful teachers, Olivia with Luminous Presence Art was saying how, yeah, she took care, and I was saying to her, like, she took care of everyone. And then Olivia came back and said, did she? And I'm like, oh, she didn't take care of herself. So not everyone. And then it's like, if I'm using that as a standard, right, to live my life that way, is that truly a way that will make me happy or bring that joyfulness to me? And I said, no, that's not a template that I want. I love my parents. I have so much work to get to a place where it's like honor and just how all the sacrifices, everything they've done, and then taking what I know from that, right? Taking the pearls of wisdom and moving forward from there to go on my own journey. And it's scary because if I've lived, right, even though a lot of the choices I've made in career and all of that, or my own, there was a lot also that, and especially that showed up in my relationships, was this based on what my family and my parents and my society has taught me. And I've accumulated and took on those templates. And now as I shed those away of what those steps were on what I should be, and like here are all like the whole script on like how to survive, and recognizing that I don't want to survive anymore, and recognizing that I want to now live, it's scary. It's scary to fully step into who you are. And it sounds silly, right? And I think there are many moments where we kind of look and like downplay it. Like, that sounds silly. But it's actually not silly at all. Right? It's recognizing that starting something new is scary. But there's a fine nuance between fear and like this, I call it the healthy dose of fear, right? Where there's a crippling fear, and then the fear's like, and then there's almost like an anticipation that's wrapped with a little, like sprinkled with a little excitement. So that's a little story, a little tangent, about what's happening. And so as I explore and I decided, I'm like, okay, you know what, Sally, Akandara, like you've done this before. So I took a moment and I sat with the Emperor card and I looked straight into the eyes, and I used the traditional deck. So I looked straight into eyes and I realized, no, I am held. Recognizing that I can lean into the masculine within myself to hold me, to take action. And funny enough, I've been doing that. Like I've been like these little nudges, like, hey, go get your health check. And then when I did that, I'm like, I recognize I need to make some sort of some healthy lifestyle changes. And then next thing, I get in the mail, I get a letter from my company to join a certain like health program like for free and all, and then I'll get all of these like tools and resources to help based on like a certain almost like eligibility requirements. And like all of that was based on like this little nudge. Just like, I want to get healthy. I haven't had a blood work in a while. Maybe I'll go do that. It started with a nudge, and it's like there's that trust that happened, even though it's like a small one. And I recognize that I can do that for bigger ones too, bigger choices, bigger chances, bigger leaps of faith, and witnessing how the universe will respond in response to all of that, to these choices. So I just thought that was a little hilarious. All right, and I know this episode's going pretty long, so I am so happy that you are still here with me. Let's see. Remember when I did like the tarot card of the day? So I am so excited to bring back, I really feel this wanting to come back, a more regular series of tarot card of the day. And guess what? It's the King of Pentacles today. And let's just begin with this. It feels so good. Like it feels so luscious. And I call it like this damn delicious feeling in your body when something feels so good. And to really like paint a picture of this is that it feels like pumpkin spice latte and apple cinnamon in the air, and all by a cozy fireplace, cuddled up in like these big fluffy blankets, or like eating something so good that brings in so much warmth and softness and just feels so right. Oh, so right within the body. And the King of Pentacles, the masculine. It's like this very grounded. Pentacles are with earth, and it's also with all of our earthly materials. So in a way, the focus becomes like this almost like this masculine figure that is very grounded, that is witnessing the fullness of you. You can be everything and just know that there's a stability, there's a stillness, there's a confidence, and that it just feels so good. And the structure, right? The masculine, masculine energy is like the structure that holds the sacredness of you. And it could be your body, feeling good within your body. If emotions is like, let's say emotions like a little, feels more fluid. So I would say fluidity, it feels more feminine for me. Structure, concrete, sturdiness feels more masculine. And that if your body is the structure, your emotions is the feminine, is feeling good within your body. And with this new moon, is just like, how can you invite your body into more play, more goodness, almost like an enrichment for your own soul. And another thing that I'm feeling here is like this warm hearth on how can you invite more, maybe possibly more balance into and grace into your home. How can you invite in more warmth to your physical home, to the space that is holding you? It could be your car that just gives you that really good feeling in your body. Could be a specific room in the house that just gives you, because the light just hits it the right way, right? How can you invite in more warmth to your physical home? And how are you creating sacred space for yourself to feel cozy and comfortable and just simply right at home within your body? So home. And one of the pearls of wisdom that came in the last couple months, especially around the 8-8 portal for me, was that the home that I was seeking externally was always ever inside of me. Meaning being able to feel at home, it's a type of feeling that's just like you knowing that you'll be okay wherever you are, and feeling that I can go comfortable to go on a date with myself, comfortable to being alone. And it's different from loneliness. It's feeling alone and feeling very much at home within your body. And another thing that I'm hearing right now is just slow it down, baby. Slow down. Pentacles are earth, slow movement. So think like tectonic plates shifting super slow. How can you slow down and take in that fresh, crisp fall air and truly embrace the smell of a wood-burning fireplace? And with Venus in Scorpio and all the other astrological phenomena, I am feeling this call to invite in beauty, lusciousness, love, and like this sensual pleasure. And ask ourselves too, because with Venus in Scorpio and this depth to it, it's invited in the questions, right, on how to break through the questions we want to explore, to break through so that we can feel more of the beauty and lusciousness. That is what it means to dive into the shadows, the depths. Is right, how can we dive and break barriers through the depths? And as above, so below here. Dive into the depths so that it blossoms and it expands even more. Think of like a funnel up and a funnel down. And like a figure, silly. A figure 8. Just think of like as above, so below. So as we dive deep into ourselves and we break barriers to the depths of our shadows, we are expanded upward. We are creating more space. So with Venus in Scorpio, there is an invitation, right? Are some questions. How How have we limited ourselves from the pleasures of life, thinking that we're not good enough, thinking that we can't trust the good thing happening, or that we must do something to earn the goodness, even just like earning the right to even to breathe another breath every single day. And with Pluto and Venus connecting with one another is trusting in the masculine structure that is like your body, your home, your space, and your ambitious nature, direct, confident, I'm fucking holding you. And look into your own eyes and see just how fucking held you are, while knowing and trusting that the masculine within you can honor and respect and uphold the feminine intuition. That interplay that is happening within your very own body. And it can feel very good doing that, being able to balance and dance and I'm a very, I would say, like I'm a tantrika. So a lot of it comes into like this deepen it into the body and allowing every movement to move through your body, every sound and reverberation, the energy to flow and to feel really it's a very yummy feeling. So here's the invitations. There's been so many during this entire episode. So I'm just going to summarize. October. All right, we'll start high level here. This is where masculine is coming through here. Structure. All right, at a high level, October. The month of October, there are 4 big themes. Time. Recognize that there is an abundance of time. You're not arriving late or early. You're right on time. And with time, everything has a ripening period. It doesn't mean that things aren't happening, even though on the surface it looks like things aren't moving. But recognize that is just one aspect. The other aspect of it is that things are falling into place when they are ready to fall into place. And just witness. See how you're constricting yourself, how you're holding your breath, how you are holding yourself to a certain bar that is of your own making. All right, everything there is an abundance of time. Is there a sort of lack around time that's coming in? Is there an urgency that's coming in? And I invite you to play with it. Play with your resistance. Number 2, harvest the pearls of wisdom. Nothing is wasted. Can you stand to witness the templates you used as a means to survive? Before the awakening, before the enlightenment, before your awareness expanded, and just recognize how these templates served you at some point, and the wisdom that you've gained from it. You can appreciate what was and take what you learn and apply it to the template that you're choosing to embody, your pure embodied template of creation, being you, choosing you. And number 3, slow down. Slow down and smell the seasons changing as you're changing. No longer binded by the past or the future. Can you allow yourself to live within the moment? And how can you slow down even further? How can you invite more pleasure into your life through slowing down and being more present in the now? And through the stillness, the neutrality of your heart, you'll be able to see things even more clearly. Number 4, balancing and unifying the masculine and feminine, and releasing what we have known about these 2 energies, and truly embrace and deepen into the expansiveness that within the masculine there is the feminine, within the feminine there is the masculine. Think yin-yang symbol. There's a deep harmonious blend of this push and pull, the container and the flow, the energy of known and unknown that all resides within you. Observe how within, as you're exploring maybe the expansion of the masculine energy within you or the expansion within the feminine energy within you, witness how in the past, there may have been some imbalance, where the imbalances are. And I invite you to be curious around what these imbalances are and explore how you can begin to release them. So allow these themes to guide you in setting your intentions for the month. And at the end of the month, you can take a look at your intentions and just witness and reflect on where you would like to do differently in next month. And use the regular card of the day. So whenever there's a new reading on the card of the day, just allow that to drive your focus for that day. So for right now, right in this particular moment, the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles feels good. Feels good to be within a body. It feels good to be within a body. So it invites us to explore the containers. Like it could be our own body. It could be the space that we're in. It could be our car. It could be our home. Even a relationship can be a sort of containership. And witness how our body is responding to each of these containers. Are we flowing? Are our emotions flowing through? Are we able to express the fullness of who we are? Can we witness ourselves trusting and surrendering more? Can we truly surrender to these structures and trust that they can lead us, provide for us, protect us, and protect the intuitive nudges of ours? And just witness how, I love this, how fucking held we are within the deliciousness of our body, within containers. So exploring any limiting beliefs around relationship to your body, to food, to health, to fitness, to movement, to your house, your space. Do you truly feel satisfied? As you look for, maybe have been seeking these externally from yourself. Maybe validations from other people to know that you are worthy of being here, or validations from other people that your voice matters and that you can be safe. Can you turn to yourself to be that container? Or are you looking for this all externally? And if you are, does it truly feel good to you? Does it feel satisfying? Or does it feel like an endless hunger for more? And can we take a moment to witness what versions of us are showing up when it feels sticky to be within the deliciousness of our body? Like, what's holding us back? And when we want to rush and reflect on what our own choices are and how, and just allow yourself to see where you can expand upon your awareness. What versions of yourselves are showing up? It could be a 3-year-old self, right? A 6-year-old, a teenager, a young adult who wants to come up and just be witnessed. And I invite you to start small. Consider maybe just shifting your environment to create a better harmony for you so that you can feel good. It could be reorganizing your desk and feeling good as you're seeing it's organized and clean, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to do this more often. It could be lighting an incense because you're like, oh, this feels nice. This is setting the tone. Perhaps add in some movement that focuses on slowing down and being present within your body. Breath work, yoga, anything to give yourself a chance to be more present within you. Or an inventory list of what relationships are feeding you, feeding your soul, or what's leaving you empty. And guess what? There is no right or wrong to any of these practices. Right? These are just options, an opportunity. You know what feels good for you. And I trust that you'll figure out what is the most practical and most aligned method to all of it. And you don't need to do if you choose to make a list, you just need to sit with it. You don't have to do anything in this moment. You don't need to go and be like, hey, sayonara. If that feels aligned, okay. But you don't need to do any of that right now. You can just simply sit with your list until, like the leaves ready to fall, you'll know when to take that leap. And the right words and actions will find you. Oh, it is so good to be back. I love you all so dearly. And that's all that I have for you today. So Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my lovely listeners, for tuning in. I love you dearly. And you realize how amazing you are and just the beautiful medicine that is so vibrant and ever present within you. Man, I can't wait for the next episode. Until next time, my love, it's only the beginning.